Summer's coming up and you need to show your shredded abs. Here's how you lose 10 pounds in a week for that event. And I'll show you how and why you actually shouldn't do that. Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Dr. Ben Alilin. I'm a practicing family physician here for 20 years in Orlando, Florida. And I do videos that help and show people how to lose weight in an evidence-based manner and to watch out for the tricks that are out there for you to watch on social media and different places, and the evidence that is shown to really lose weight and do things properly and the benefits of that. So you have to lose weight. You have to do this. You're going to be taking off your shirt. You're going to be showing your abs, and the influencer that shows up on your feed, because social media can just read your mind. It's doing that to me right now. These things show up in your feed and they say you can lose weight without doing whatever. And a lot of these are maybe marketing. They may be people who interpret things the wrong way, but you cannot lose significant amount of weight in just 1 week. What I mean by that is fat weight. You can drop water weight, but you cannot lose significant weight that's even sustainable. And so a lot of studies have shown this, where people lose excessive weight in a short period of time, where it's like a V curve, that if you drop in weight quickly, it comes back looking exactly like a V. You gain it back. And what are the problems with that? And they even had this in the GLP medications, where people wanted to do it for 1-2 months and their weight dropped and went back up. But what is really happening when people are losing really in the first 1 or maybe 2 weeks? They're losing a lot of excessive water weight and weight from the food. There's less food going in, and there's a diuresis that happens. There's less salt, so you're not retaining food, so you're not eating food, so there's less salt intake in the body. So there's a somewhat of a diuresis effect that kind of happens, and they may be trying to eat healthier, so there's potassium intake, which then makes more water to be removed from you. There's also lower insulin. So insulin tends to work on these receptors in the body that hold on to fluid. So if you're not consuming food, insulin goes down, thus you again get rid of water weight. So the majority of weight lost in extreme not eating or in extreme exercise even is salt and water weight. And so what does that look like? Let's say I was going to lose 1 pound a day. What does that look like in exercise? If you were going to do that, that's 3,500 calories negative. That's in a day. That's like riding a bike for 5 hours or running for 6 hours. And to do that for a sustained amount of time, even just 6 hours, sounds ridiculous. But if I was going to lose 7 to 10 pounds in a week, that's running 30, 40 hours. It's ridiculous. So you're not going to lose fat weight, which is ultimately what you really want to do. What you lose is water. And in some studies that I found that you will lose muscle weight, which is going to be even more detrimental to you if you do this. So what I'm telling you is stop thinking that way. We have to do it in a sustained fashion of weight loss. And if you believe or even think you can do that, you actually have been marketed to. When you do that, you lose muscle weight. You even slow down your metabolism. You make things worse with your metabolism, and you disrupt the hormones of hunger and satiety, these ghrelin and leptin. And so when you do that, the ghrelin is going to be higher, which increases your appetite, and the leptin, which is a satiety hormone, you're going to disrupt that also, and that's going to be lower. So what are you paying for when you're doing this? When you go to a so-called expert for weight loss, a dietitian, or someone online that's going to help you lose weight, and you're going to be spending all your money. And I'm not saying you don't need this advice, but what ultimately is going to be is increasing your activity, trying to exercise more, and you're going to want to do that in a sustainable way. You know, it's advised that you ramp up if you don't work out, and if your baseline is low, that you start out doing slow in the amount of time that you're working out. But it's also eating healthier. And really the recommendation, if you look at what all these diets or people selling, is that you're eating whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, changing some oils to healthier oils, such as olive oil or extra virgin olive oil, and sleeping well, reducing stress. Now, if that takes a professional for you to talk to do that, and you need to pay someone to that, go ahead and do that, but understand that that's ultimately what's going to be there, and if you need guidance on the nuances of that. But don't go waste your money and time, $1,000 to sign up for some program or $2,000 to see a certain specialist do that. Don't get me wrong, there may be some nuances for you. There are genetic reasons for obesity. There may be injuries for causing you not to work out. You might need a kickstart, and you're going to know that for yourself, because only you know your issues that pertain to you. And so increasing protein in your diet. So protein is the food macro that has the highest satiety. Increasing that and reducing carbohydrates is going to be ultimately something that helps you lose weight. And that's also the added benefit of protein, is that it has a thermic effect. And so TEF, or thermic effect of food, which helps increase your metabolism, which is basically your metabolism when you're eating protein, just to break down the protein. And that's the magic of protein, is that it does those two things. So if you need to do a boot camp and burn 1,000 calories and you think you're going to lose weight sustainably, maybe go ahead and do that. If you think a 7-day juice cleanse is going to be fantastic for your body, go ahead and do that. The evidence says otherwise. Do it the right way. I made this video because there was a comment saying that the things I'm saying are outdated. Reducing your calorie intake versus your calorie expenditures is the truth. The evidence is behind it. Don't go for the fads. Waste your time, waste your money. If you want to see the other video I have on that, I'll put a link of that below. If you want to see the evidence that I reviewed to show you that this is the right way to go about weight loss, I'll put these below. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the alert button, the notification button, and share this with others. This could help someone save some money and prevent them from being overweight. And I'll see you on the next one.